Hey everybody, it's been a long time since I've made a resin or acrylic pouring video. I'm in my new house for about 7 or 8 months and I'm still not unpacked with my art supplies because I'm working out of a small room until we finish my art studio, which will be probably another 5 months or so. So I'm not going to be doing frequent videos, but hopefully the videos that I do create will be very helpful to you. One thing I do want to mention, I'm working with resin. I was recently diagnosed with COPD. I have never smoked a day in my life. It's from the environment, and pretty much the only thing that can be affecting me is the resin that I worked with for several years. So even though a resin will say no VOCs, you still need to mask up and wear a mask and goggles, a full face mask, whatever it takes to protect yourself. Have good ventilation, have a window open, have your fan going, have some way for that air to move out of your working environment. So I wanted to point that out to you. From this point on, I will be creating voiceover videos. In the past, I have just talked as I had created my resin work, gone through the whole process just talking while I'm creating it, and I'm not going to be doing that from this point on. Today I am trying out Lett's resin, which I worked with counterculture for several years and absolutely loved it and still love it. I just want to try out Lett's resin. They've changed a lot in the last few years, and they have a fast cure that has maybe a little bit longer working time than countercultures did. So I want to give it a try and see what I can create with a fast cure resin. So you don't really have to do the timing thing because it's fast cure, so you really just have to work pretty quickly through the whole thing. Now I haven't worked with resin in so long that I may just, kind of fumble through this like a new beginner would. So you can watch along with me just like a beginner, and we'll do this together for the first time. I want to show you real quickly what comes with the kit. Fast Cure, it's equal parts A and B. So here they are, and I got the 72-ounce kit to try out. And in the kit, let me show you what they give you. They give you a little manual that gives you the basics on how to use things. They give you some gloves, which I use my own gloves that are like skin tight. I like those kind. They give you a little pack of some resin colors, resin dyes. I'm not going to use that today per se. They give you about 10 cups that will hold 8 ounces. And so I'll be using just one of these today to mix up all my resin in. But a good many, maybe at least 10 of these little miniature ones that you can put, glitter or very small amounts that you need for like really small amounts of resin you're going to use for your project. I'm not using those today either. They give you pipettes. They give you a couple of plastic or silicone things. So I'll use this to mix my resin with today. And I'm going to show you just very quickly some other supplies that I have. I have a little small level. And I got this nifty G's Fee. It's about, 20 to 24 inches around. And it has leveling feet on the bottom. There's a bubble in the middle that shows you if you're level or not, but I also like to check it manually with a level just to make sure I'm good. Then it also has a silicone mat cover, which is really cool. I'm putting that on top, and that protects the surface. I'm going to do 4 coasters today. I haven't used any of these in a while, so I'm going to have to clean these out before I get started. I use 91% alcohol, 91 or 99% alcohol, and it's in my squeeze bottle here. You can get it on Amazon. All the links are below the video. I've got a little culinary heat torch. I have a heat gun and a small one, but this blows more air, so typically I do not use this if I have anything already in my mold that is like a pattern. You don't want to use this, it'll blow your pattern out of whack. I also have a temperature probe, which tells you, how warm your resin is. I've got a couple of cups. I'm gonna mix a white, and I couldn't find any of my pigment paste except for this one, and this is Rameses Angel White, and I don't typically use this. I usually use like Cast and Craft. Don't know where it is at this point, so that was the only thing I could find. For the glitter in the middle, I'm using Laura's Art Corner Ballroom Blitz, which is a really fantastic kind of holographic sparkly glitter here. And I'm going to use this little piggy by Fluid Art Company. This one is called Zimzelen. I'm going to use that with the white, and then I'm going to back it up with a second layer with Vinyasa for the background. I have a fabulous little spoon. I got this from Counterculture, and it's great for dipping into little fine mica powders. I've got a timer here, so it'll show 0, and I'm going to start the timer, and I'm going to leave it running so you can see the time as we film the video. Got a couple of cups with bags in it because I'm going to pipe my colors in, so those are ready to go. Baby wipes with the alcohol are great for cleanup. So I'm going to have everything ready to go before I mix my resin, because you have 5 minutes to mix the resin. You let it sit for about 5 minutes, and then you want to be kind of ready to roll because you're working with fast cure. Also, make sure all of your bottles, if they have any seals, make sure they're all removed and kind of ready to go. First thing I'm going to do is clean my molds out. I'll skip through and fast forward a lot of this. I also like to have a piece of tape just to pick up anything that's may have floated into your mold. So I'm going to move those aside. So the pigment paste is going to be thick, and you're going to have it on the tip of your stick, and you're going to wipe off most of it and just leave the residue on the stick. I also have some Pinata white alcohol ink. These molds hold over 3 ounces of resin, and I have it on a back layer, so I don't want any more than 2 ounces. I want somewhere between 1.5 to 2 ounces per mold. The line up here at the top is the 8 ounces, so I'm going to pour part B first and then A into B. And I'm going to put B in up to 4 ounces and then A up to the 8 ounce mark. It will tell you right here in the middle, B and A. So look for that in the middle. I'm going to fast forward through the mixing part. So we're going to hit just start. I think you can see that. Okay, I actually mixed, it shows 6 minutes. I changed to a larger cup. You always need to mix in a cup that has at least 4 to 6 ounces more space. An 8-ounce cup that they provide was mixing too close to the top, and it was going to be easy to spill, and I actually like a longer stick as well, so this is great for maybe smaller cups, but for mixing a larger quantity, I like to use the longer sticks that are in my link for Amazon. So anyway, this is going to sit, it says to let it sit for 5 minutes. It shows the air right now is 78 degrees. I'm going to stick it in here and just let it sit for a little bit. You really want it to be at least 85 degrees before you start using it. Also, anything that is poured into the mold, when you unmold it, this is going to be your top side that faces downwards. And it's also going to be a little bit more not super high glossy like resin should be. So I usually always put a top coat on my coasters anyway. I can kind of see kind of a pattern on this one, so they'll probably show up on the other side when I unmold it, and that's especially why I like to put a top coat. While I'm waiting for it to warm, I'm going to go ahead and give myself really 1.5 maybe for this color, 2 at the most on the white. And I'm going to go ahead and put those in my cup while I'm waiting for the thermometer to go up, and a little touch into my glitter just to wet it. When you have your thermometer in here, it's also top heavy. Be careful with that. Taking it out so I can just pour my resin. Okay, it's been 29 minutes. I'm really still not used to using like a fast cure to do the bloom effect, because I'm used to having more working time where I don't feel rushed. I felt a little rushed with this, even though it's been almost 30 minutes. With the other brand of fast cure that I used, I would have never had 30 minutes to work with it. It sets up in 10 to 15 minutes. So that was a little disconcerting, not being used to having this much working time for a fast cure. So we'll see how they continue to bloom, and I'll wait about 3 or 4 hours and then put that background layer on it after that. Okay, we're going to do a back layer. And I don't think these turned out really well. I'm not going to know until I unmold them. You never want to take them out, look at them, and put them back in. You'll have resin that goes underneath it. It won't have a tight seal, so you've always got to pour while it's in the mold, or you can't pour until afterwards. So I'm going to do, I've marked the inside of a little 3-ounce cup. There's a little dot inside. It's about 2 ounces, so that I get around 4 ounces for the backs of these. So I'm going to use the fast cure again. This fast cure is much thicker than the medium viscosity, which I'm used to working with. So, you know, sometimes you have to get used to new things, new thicknesses and viscosities. I'm a timer set for 5 minutes. I'm using their gloves, and I don't like them. You make mistakes when you have this much extra stuff. You can drop into things. It just can catch something, stick to something. That's why I like to use the other gloves. I'm going to mix for 5 minutes and then I'll be back. Okay, I did 5 minutes of mixing. I'm going to use vinyasa. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of the Zimzellen in with it for a mixture that's darker than this, so it has a contrast. Okay, I waited overnight. I'm not expecting a whole lot of success because it's been a while since I've done this. A new resin, a fast cure resin, and I'm so super used to medium viscosity. So I'm just excited just to be able to create something, but I'm not sure what it's going to look like, so my hopes are not super high. But anyway, I'm going to unmold and see what they look like. I'm not super mad at it. It almost has a palm tree effect, like the branches of a palm tree or something, the leaves. It's kind of unusual. It's pretty. I'm not too disappointed. The glitter, you know, kind of did its thing and that spread too much there, but for my first attempt in probably a year or more, pretty pleased. And I would probably top coat these and maybe do a silver edge. Considering I don't know where my silver paint pens are, I may not be able to do a silver edge, but it's kind of a unique effect. So, if you learned something today, I hope you did, please like, give me a thumbs up, make a comment. That helps with the algorithms on YouTube because my channel's been really slow. And share with someone that you think might be interested who maybe is trying out resin. And thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Love you all. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. Love you all.